Hi Pisces, welcome to your mid-August 2018 tarot update. It's Rena here, shuffling the cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. I think besides my Morgan Greer deck and then the Rider-Waite deck, I think these are my favorites. So I love, oh, you got the same card in the same position as Scorpio, so. Ooh, 3 major arcanas, woo! Let's see, can we get 4? You think that was a setup? Can we say 5? Oh, no. But that's pretty wild, because this is a modified spread. Since this is for half of the month, it's not as big as my other one, but 4 out of 5 major arcana cards. Are you kidding me? Well, Pisces, you have a full moon in your sign on August 26th. So changes, endings, transformation, purging within yourself, your life. That might be why I'm getting these major cards here. So the heart of the matter is the Star card. This is connected to Aquarius. Maybe this is from that lunar eclipse that happened a month earlier. Maybe everything's coming home at this time. Now that would have been your 12th house, which you rule. So having a lunar eclipse in the 12th house for Pisces, you're already ruler of that house. That might have been like a lot of karma being cleared out for you. But in terms of just the card itself, the Star card, it's all about hope restored, healing, and things like that. So feeling more positive, maybe feeling like something really good is in your life at this time. If I look at the past position, which may be informing that, we have the Sun card. So some of you may have fallen in love with someone. Leo is ruled by the Sun, so maybe it's a Leo person, but just by the nature of what the Sun represents, the Sun also represents healing. The Sun represents I would say being in good spirits, but physical health it can relate to. It can relate to just happiness or success and love. So there may be someone who you have met that you feel these feelings for. And that has kind of restored your faith in humanity. Because perhaps you were in a place where whenever I see the Star card, I feel like what came before that might have been a lot of challenges for you. And you have come out of it with flying colors and are really in a good place right now. I hope this is true for some of you. Well, I hope it's true for all of you, but at least I hope some of you can say, yes, I have met somebody, or yes, I did get that dream job of mine, and I'm really happy right now. Because the more, the happier you are right now, the more you can generate in the future. At least that's what I believe. So what we have right now is the Moon card. Now, you are connected to this card. And it's funny, I got the Sun and the Moon, so that's pretty interesting. The Moon card, for some of you who are artistic, you may have come into a period where you are very creative, like a very fertile time for artists. And this definitely goes along with that card. If you, let's say you met someone that you have fallen in love with, you may be very fertile physically, biologically. So it could be speaking to something along those lines. However, also artistically, somebody may be your muse. They may be inspiring you because you feel like you have hope again and you have this sense of well-being. And so this is kind of opening up those channels. This can be a period where you're really getting in touch with your spirituality, where you're feeling a sense of that connection, which you, as a Pisces person, possess in a very open way. But just like any other person, you can get discouraged, you can get disgusted if things have happened that you did not want and you just kind of push something away, including a spiritual practice or just the belief that we are guided by a loving God, you know, and you might have felt like, yeah, right, you know, if you have experienced disappointments in the past. And now you may feel safe enough to go back into that. But I want to talk about what else the moon represents. The moon represents sometimes how we lie to ourselves, you know, how we deceive ourselves, or somebody not being straight with us. Now, is this a new love in your life that is being this way? I don't necessarily think so. Because the Sun card is arguably the most positive card in the whole deck. If it was in the reversed position, I might entertain the thought that it was talking about somebody who is deceiving you, and yet there might be still hope for the relationship, because the reverse Sun card could be partial success in whatever endeavor it's referring to. So I'm thinking that perhaps there are two situations going on simultaneously. Maybe you've fallen in love with somebody and you're still with somebody else. It seems to be a theme lately in some of these readings I've been doing. And I just want to state, because I get the inevitable person saying it's never okay to cheat, it's never okay to, you know, da-da-da. I'm not advocating cheating whatsoever. I think that being honest is always the best policy. Well, unless you're dealing with a really crazy person or something. But in general, I think it is. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about you may have been bogged down in a very toxic relationship. And the Star card may be like this bridge towards a new life, where you have met somebody who has reminded you that life can be beautiful. Doesn't mean you're cheating, doesn't mean anything of that sort. It just means that you may feel this sense of renewal, healing, but still have loose ends to tie. So with the Moon card, it could be that the person you're dealing with is not being straight with you, and you're going to still have to deal with a few things. As a matter of fact, the advice is the World card. So it's about closing a chapter in your life. Again, I think this is going to happen regardless with the full moon in your sign. It's going to be, I believe it's 3 degrees of Pisces. So that can be a time when you're saying goodbye to a way of life that you've known, or even a part of yourself that perhaps you have falsely identified with. And I just want you, if there's nobody in your life that is a current partner, if the Sun and the Star card are referring to a particular new love, or maybe it's a job, a dream job. With the Moon card, be careful about not tripping yourself up. Don't get in your own way in any particular case. Because Pisces rules the 12th house, and one of the keywords of the 12th house is self-undoing. And it's also the house of addiction, and that's a form of self-undoing. But the point being that sometimes people are their own worst enemy, in that they are not kind to themselves. They don't make good choices. They don't honor themselves. And with the Moon card, this can indicate not being in touch with your, reality of who you are, how wonderful you are. Sometimes being self-deceptive is not loving yourself enough, not realizing what an amazing person you are, and putting yourself last. That can be a form of self-deception. So I want you to consider this from the perspective of self-love, that Moon card. The outcome is the 9 of Wands. There's that Moon again. But look at what's on the stairs. There's all these kind of deterrents for the person to be able to walk up the stairs. The 9 of Wands connects to having boundaries. And this is very important for Pisces, because Pisces, you are ruled by Neptune, and this is the planet that is about dissolving, not about having that strong sense of boundaries. It's no boundaries. The 12th house is about merging you with everyone. When they say being at one with the universe. And there's a place and time for that, but there's a time to let people know where you stand. So if you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to have an insult level. You have to have what you are, you have to have boundaries, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate. If you're in a new job that you really think is your dream job, you still have to have boundaries. You can't let people walk all over you. And it's interesting that this card does connect to fire energy, because fire energy is about pride, ego, but in a positive sense, the healthy ego. The part of us that's in the world that knows what our talents are and wants to share them with others, and feels like you can't wait to share your talents with other people. Now, who knows? Maybe this is connected to a Sagittarian person. I mentioned with the Sun, Leo rules the Sun, fire energy. So maybe this is kind of talking about the person that you're going to be with, if this is a relationship issue. I don't know. I don't know if this is about boundaries or if it's about a specific person. But in any case, you have some wonderful cards here, Pisces. So I have a feeling that the last half of this month is going to be very significant for you, especially around the time of your full moon. So enjoy that. And if you'd like a private reading, Pisces, the link to my website is below. It's rainandmoonastrology.com. And enjoy the rest of the month. Bye.